but I thought I'd better pop on and do a bit of an update of this has kind of been my only setback so far, I've got to say. What are we now? 7 weeks post aortic valve replacement therapy. I had the Ross procedure. I had my chest opened up, and basically I had a healthy valve, moved from one side of my heart to replace the unhealthy valve that I was born with. And then I had a donor valve replace the valve that they took from the other side. And I was home from surgery after I was out of the hospital, on day 5, just in time for Christmas. And as rough as this is, even when it goes well, I had been doing pretty good. I hadn't had any major setbacks. My major setbacks were me. As soon as I start to feel better, I do something. And I do something physical. And then I hurt myself and I end up in bed. Now, I've had a shifting sternum constantly. This last week has been the first time I think it might have settled. Anyway, I should probably continue to not do too much over the next couple of weeks. No, we'll try to do that. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, sorry, my mishap. For weeks, I've had a little internal suture threatening to poke through my skin. So really right there under the surface, causing a bit of a mild weepy looking pimple almost. And I just kept it dry and covered and all of the things. And then all of a sudden I woke up in the middle of the night in the most insane radiating hot pain from my sternum. It was so bad that I just couldn't, and I haven't needed pain relief for weeks. I took all the pain relief, nothing helped. It was burning, it was hot, it was becoming swollen, and I thought, great, it's getting infected. And it was. So I had an appointment at the heart doctor, incidentally and thankfully, the next day. And they gave me some antibiotics. They gave me flucloxacillin, and I proceeded to throw up everything for the next 2 days. And then I started to get worried that with all this throwing up, I'm worried this antibiotic's not getting into me. So I went to the doctor. I got another one. I've just started that. I've just spent 3 days, oh my God, just being so sick and unwell. And also my once beautiful, flawless wound started breaking out. It's as though the infection traveled along the whatever they've used to wind me up inside, as in the suture that they've used. It's an absorbable, not absorbing quick enough, obviously, wicking braided filament. So the fact that it was poking out, and I think that the bacteria and things were just I tried to keep it as clean. I did all of the things. I'm a vet nurse. I'm good at keeping wounds clean and treating them and stuff. It got infected, and now it's kind of got the little pimply head thing that it's got there kind of all along, unfortunately, my beautiful fully healed sternum. So, look, there's not much I guess I could have done about it. I also had the suture poke out down the bottom, the one down here, and I was able to pull it out and cut it off and push it back in, so it was fine. But this one, it didn't poke out enough to be cut or even to 100% break the skin. And, you know, I ummed and ahed, should I kind of it and pull it? And so I just left it, and an infection is what happened. And that's fine. My God, setbacks, I've had hardly any. I've been so lucky. I haven't even had medication reactions. So I've been really, really fortunate. I did shit myself a bit last night though. I was like, I hope this can clear up with antibiotics. I don't like that it's my sternum, and that's a real, that's that's protecting my heart and my lungs, and I don't want some kind of a infection in my heart. But that's just the nurse in me worrying out loud. So I was meant to start cardiac rehab. Had my first appointment on Monday, and I spent the day throwing up from the antibiotics. So I didn't make it there. I'm not allowed there this week. So I'm going to have to join in next week. I was actually really looking forward to it. I need to get physical. It's so hot here in Australia. I'm struggling to walk. Because it's bloody hot all night and all day. I want to get a treadmill, and maybe I really need to get a treadmill. That being said, if you saw where I lived, you'd fuck. I live in paradise with a. It used to be the old rail line. Sorry, my cat's trying to jump up. Don't you dare! You'll knock this system down. I have a highly evolved system. So we've got this walking track. It used to be a train line. The train got they basically dug it up. They made it a bike/walking track, and it goes sort of from one end of paradise to the other. So I don't like exercising, but I don't. More than that, I don't like exercising with people around at all. So it puts me off doing, I want to go to the gym, but I don't want there to be people watching me. And it's really weird. It's like I need to be able to exercise when I want to exercise. And so often I just find myself not being in the mood because it means going out into the world, and in a small community that means going out into people, and like it's exactly what I need anyway. But what you need and what you do. Now this led me I'm not going to go too much into it. Trying to sort out my finances. I've had no income for the last well before I had this procedure. I can't get any form of help. I'm a single mum. I have a mortgage. Oh, thank God I have the most amazing parents in the world that shouldn't have to be responsible for this. But I can't get any financial help. Anyway, it led me into trying to get some help in some way through Centrelink, right? The social security, the thing you pay taxes your whole life so that you can use one day. You can't. Let me tell you. If you can, you can't. Anyway, when I found out that this thing that I'd apply for had been rejected, sent me into the most insane fight or flight. Like, I'm not kidding when I tell you the irony, considering I've just had heart valve surgery. I haven't been able to hear my heart beating in my ears since before my surgery. And I could just feel my heart beating in my ears and all over my body, and this hot feeling of dread and ruin and upset at the system and the lack of support and how sick I am. It was like I was going to blow a gasket. I just couldn't take it. And as I was having this absolute meltdown, I thought, this is fucked. I find myself constantly, right, having to confront such big things, and they terrify me, and then I solve one, okay, and I put it away, and then there's another one, and then there's another one, and each one of them seems like the fucking end of the world, because it is. And right now, my end of the world is this. I'll cut it, long story short, I'm going to have to go back to work ASAP because I have to. I'm not ready to. I don't know how I'm going to lift. I'm just going to have to. But the state that this put me in, and by the way, triggers all kinds of health issues of its own and probably creates them to begin with. I thought, it's always something. It always seems like the end of the world. So far, it's not been the end of the world. So the fact that I'm letting these things, catastrophes, they feel like, and in some ways they are, letting that overwhelm me to the point where I've got a heart beating in my eyeballs and my ears is fucking unhealthy. It's so unhealthy. Do you want to go outside, buddy? It's too hot out there, trust me. You don't know. We've got the aircon on in here. My old man dog is, he doesn't tolerate the heat anymore. And he kind of is asking to go out, but I know he's not going to want to be there. I think I need to learn how to roll with the punches a bit more. Like, I'm that physically affected by, you know, they feel like massive deals, and they are, but they're not. You know, it's that whole saber-toothed tiger thing. I feel like I'm fighting saber-toothed tigers everywhere, every day, multiple times a day. Most of them relate to money. Some of them relate to my health. Their health and money. I need to learn a better way to deal with it. I can't let my stress destroy me like this, and I do. I've always been a guilt and motivated person, so I ruminate on things and I really worry about things, and then I put off certain things because I know the physical reaction I have to scary things. Like today, it was finding out the information that I'd been putting off looking up because I knew what the answer was going to be, and I knew it was going to upset me, and it did, and here I am. Now look, I've spent $1 billion in, okay, maybe thousands of dollars in mindfulness, meditation, study, retreats, work. I know how there's really something in it all, and I found it so great at one point, and now I just find it, I let go of it at some point, and now I find that really hard to connect with. And it feels like nothing could possibly help, so why could I bother? You know, already, and I'm hearing this in my head, if I did the exercise, it's just tough. really struggling and I feel scared all the time. So I'm just on, I'm reacting all over the shop. So all those skills you learn from meditation isn't about pretending that stuff doesn't exist or that your body's not freaking out and having a meltdown. It's about watching that, so that for me, I remember the penny dropped. It was like, oh, when I sit and watch myself, because you've got all this shit going around in your head and your thoughts is crazy and everything. So, and if you could sit back inside yourself and just watch that happen, it showed me that I wasn't all this shit that was going on. All this shit that was going on is life. And I was able to distance myself from it a bit more and be the observer rather than the reactor. And now I can't seem to do anything but react. I don't drink. I wish I could drink. I hate alcohol. Everyone seems to get relaxed from it and it just makes me spew up for 2 days. I've tried it. I've tried all of the things, all of the kinds, in all of the ways. And ultimately, even my family who drink, just not hard drinkers, but just drinking alcohol is part of their daily lives, or having a beer at night or a wine with dinner and that kind of thing. My dad had to go, you're allergic to alcohol or something, you should stop. As he had encountered me throwing up on myself after 2 light beers. It's obscene. Anyway, so I can't even have a drink, which is probably good because I'd probably be an alcoholic at this point, let's be real. How stressful is life? So yeah, what do you do? What do you do to not fall victim to how hard life is on us? So I should do the exercise because that's great for mental health. I should do the meditating because that's great for mental health. I'm not doing any of them. I'm sitting here whinging. So I guess I'll give those things a go. I'm just so fucking down about it. Anyway, week 7, not the best. Got a bit of an infection going on, feeling that. Not loving the antibiotics. Not loving my finances. Considering going back to work. You know, ultimately I'm okay. I've got a house for the minute. Got food. Got beautiful cats to cuddle all day long. And an amazing dog who's the best boy in the world. Yeah, it's time to get back out into the world or I'm going to go insane. So I might start looking at a couple of days to see if I can get a couple of days somewhere to see how I go physically. And then I can go from there. Anyway, I think that's it, everybody. It's going to be 33 here today in Australia. And the heat it's just feels so much hotter than what it is. I mean, we get 40, mid-40s. We've had up to 50 degrees. The heat at the moment, the sun is brutal. You have the sun on you for just a moment, you can feel it burning. And this is in the morning. So I'm just hiding out and staying cool, and we'll go swim in the pool later. We don't have a big pool. It's just an above ground pool, but it's cool and it's nice and it's just outside our door there. So me and my daughter swim in it. Anyway, guys, have a nice day.